ball game, but a very difficult final sequence. In the last 36 seconds,
Yep.
3 personal fouls.
Yep.
Your impressions, what you were told, what you saw, just as you look at that final sequence.
You know, it's hard to see. I was told that one of our guys retaliated, and they're always going to see the second guy. And then the helmet came off, and to them it looked like the player took the helmet off on the field. And then we hit the snapper. And the rule in college football is you can't jump over the snapper, you can't touch the snapper, and they got to throw the flag. All right, so I don't fault the officials at all. We got to, as I tell them, we got to win and lose with class. We're in the final moments of the game. That's when we got to be at our sharpest, right? And we just didn't have the discipline down the stretch to win the football game.
Coach, talk a little bit about, obviously, there are ebbs and flows with your young quarterback. A couple of interceptions that were costly, but then what did you see on the final drive when you did tie the football game?
He's a competitor. I think we all know that he's going to compete, and he's still a young guy and believes he can make every single play. He's gonna have to grow through that, and hopefully the learning curve happens fast. But the kid's just trying to make a play. And it's our job as coaches to teach him and coach him. Not to in critical situations not to put the ball in jeopardy, because you put the ball in jeopardy versus a good football team, they're gonna take it away from you.
Coach, defensively, you really had to reach from a depth standpoint. When you lose Cam Butler, Ben Smiley wasn't available, so there were some new bodies in there. And yet defensively, plays were made, turnover caused. What did you see?
Yeah, just proud of those guys for stepping up. I mean, this is a game of next man up. Nobody cares if you don't have depth. I know that they had some players down, and you got to go play, and you got to go do your job. And that's why when you practice, you got to have the mindset that there is no first team, second team, third team. Everybody's first team, ready to play. But really proud of Bryce Carter for stepping in there. I saw T.T. Jones in there. Micah is a guy that's played mostly on special team. He comes up with a big pick there to take away a scoring opportunity. Right, they're driving and they got good field position, and he comes up with a pick. So overall, I'm really proud of how the guys competed. Trust me, it's tough and it hurts to lose this way, but we're going to go back to work. We're going to build upon the positive, correct the things where we got to improve, and try and figure out how to go 1-0 next week up at Boston College.
Jeff, then Greg.
After the penalty on the 2-point conversion, Gander had a kickoff on the 20. It looked like he put the ball where you would want him to.
Yeah, we were trying to kick it away from number 8. I mean, he's a dangerous guy. I mean, if you watched the VMI game, he took 2 kickoff returns to the house. One of them was called back for a holding penalty. And so, all night it was kind of cat and mouse. Just didn't want that guy to beat us, because we knew in order for us to have a chance in this ball game period, we were going to have to either make a draw or win the special teams matchup. And so I thought he put it there, and then we lost contain. But the bottom line is, 36 seconds left on the clock, and you're kicking from the 20. That's automatic field position right there with a dangerous offense. The ability, I think they had 2 timeouts still, and you give them good field position just with the penalty alone. But we lost contain there, and they spit it out a little bit further than we would like, and just a tough lesson for our football team to learn tonight.
Calandra had the 3 fourth-quarter interceptions last week, 2 tonight. What did you tell them before that last drive, before you guys were able to tie it?
It's just, man, take care of the ball. Take care of the ball. Be aggressive, but be smart. Learn from your mistakes. And in the first one, I mean, the guy made a competitive play, right? Malachi's behind him, so I'm not going to sit there and nitpick at that. He's just got to get the ball, a little bit further. The guy made a play, and tips are picks, right? The second one, is a situation where a kind of learn from last week, and hopefully this is the last time that he has to experience that. Just run the ball, protect the opportunity to score, and again, he's a competitor. I think that's what makes him special, is he believes that he can make every throw in every situation. But he'll learn, and I tell you what, there's nobody in that locker room that's more hurt than number 10, because he wanted to lead his team to victory today.
Jackie, then Jerry.
when you look at that third down defense, of putting pressure on Brennan today, that was one of the bright spots of the game.
Yeah, they were there. They did. They got off the field. They found a way to get off the field, and we gave up a couple of long ones that you'd like to see us, really take advantage of. But, the last couple of weeks, Coach Rudd's done a good job of mixing things up, trying to get pressure on the quarterback, and I feel like we've improved. Just disrupting the timing of the quarterback and not letting them get settled on some of your third down situations. But overall, man, the kids, they played really hard, man, and as frustrating and disappointed as I am, man, that's a football team in there that has not lost belief, right? They keep showing up every single day. They're battling adversity, right? And they're learning, how to win. So now we got it to the fourth quarter. Now we're in there at the end of the game. We got to learn from this because you got to win close games. That's ACC football. You got to win close games in the fourth quarter. And if I know anything about that bunch in there, they're resilient and they'll keep scrapping. They'll keep fighting.
Can you talk about the 2-point play
Yeah.
after the penalty? Did you have to change the play? And the end result was that improvised?
That was an improvision, and trust me, we don't have any 2-point plays from the 17-yard line. Right? Just, I'm glad that we can smile a little bit because you just don't have any. Like, as a coordinator, when you're talking about like 4th and 17 from the 17 to score to win the game, or 3rd and 17, like you just don't have plays. The field zone is condensed, and I think Calandria bought enough time and put one up, and Malachi went up and made a play, and that's really what that was. And hopefully our guys will learn from the significance that you get caught up in a personal battle in the moment, and now it puts you in a situation where, let's be honest, typically you don't overcome a situation like that. It was just a heck of a play by two guys playing backyard football.
Kobe and Mike got some things going on the first couple drives,
Yeah.
and then until Anthony ran late in the game,
Yeah.
was that just holes not there?
I think it's tough sledding versus that defense. If you watch them, that structure is built to have 7-8 guys around the box. They work versus the wide zone, so they were able to make some adjustments. I felt like we had a couple runs there that we might have cut back a little bit too early. Disappointed in the short yardage. We got to convert those situations. Took a chance, and the guys bailed me out. Took a chance there early in the game on 4th and 1. It was really 4th and inches. Felt like we should be able to get that. But we'll go back to work and look at it. And obviously we weren't able to run it there kind of middle of the game, but we found some run game. But I thought the guys pass protected, relatively well, gave them a chance in the pocket. So we'll go back to work and we'll get better at that.
Try a little more on a couple of those 4th down decisions. The 4th and short near midfield, your defense is playing
well.
You give them the short field. What was behind that?
Man, it was 6 inches, right? 6 inches and mindset, mentality, being aggressive. Man, I told the guys we don't have anything to lose. Felt like, but I probably should have called a timeout and really talked about it and got, the best possible play call. But man, defense is playing well at that time. Man, it's 6 inches. We got to be able to go get that. I don't care, what run scheme you run. You got to be able to get 6 inches.
Did you work much under center, or is that not something that...
No, we work under center. Yes, we do. We do work under center, but again, for 10, he hasn't been up under center a lot. So let's do what you do. And I come from a shotgun offense philosophy, and that's always the debate. And most of your shotgun offense guys are going to tell you, you do it all practice, you do it all game, then you go into the most critical time, and then you ask them to do something different. So, I wouldn't second guess, being in the gun. But I could have called time out there and just talked about what's the best play. But I believe I still would have went for it. But what I could have done better is burn the time out there and give everybody a chance to talk about it a little bit more.
And then what about the 4th and short where you elect to kick the field?
Got to take points. Got to take points in that situation. It's a at that point, what was it? It was 14-10, 14-7. 14-10, yeah, 14-10, and we just got to take points, and didn't want to, got to reward the defense, right, and come away with some points, and see can we now put it in the hands of special teams, and then see if we can possibly, get a good kickoff coverage, and then, down them on the short field for the, and backed up for the defense, and then get a short field for the offense.
To our last two questions from Doug and Ann Parker.
Knowing what you know about Brennan, how well do you think your team handled Brennan tonight?
You know, I mean, we got to watch the tape. I mean, he made some plays now. He made some plays in the game. I think about that 3rd and 13 where he made some throws. When he wanted to run the ball, he was able to run the ball with a little bit of effectiveness at times. But overall, I thought the guys did a good job of managing the week.
He's been a great player here.
Yeah, great player, man. And I'll say this, and I mean this with all sincerity. You know, I'm a Brennan Armstrong fan, right? Like, he did so much for this university. He did so much for me last year, man. He really, really put his heart and soul into trying to help with the transition. And so, really, excited to see him get an opportunity to come back. It's kind of weird, and he probably even say it's a little bit different coming into the stadium as an opposing guy, but he handled it well. My message to the guys is we weren't going to make this personal because there's nothing to make it personal about. He did everything the right way while he was here. He did everything the right way when it was time for him to transition. And it was time for us to line up across from him and see could we put together a game plan to handle him and give ourselves a chance to win.
Yeah, whether it's fourth quarter, fourth down, or even some of those third downs, what does this team need to do to learn how to finish or just learn that clutch mentality?
So we took a step. Right, we took a step tonight, and they had a chance. They had a chance to kind of melt and wither late in the game, and they found a way to keep fighting all the way to the end. Right, and now we have to go, as I told them in the locker room, we got to go, 59 minutes and 20-something seconds. Right. And that's how long we went. We got to go 60, right? We got to finish it. We can't lose our composure. We got to believe that we're supposed to be right there, and then when we get there, we got to act like we've been there. But I did see progress, just overall from a mentality standpoint. First of all, for these guys to come back to work and put themselves in position to get it to a fourth quarter game. So I think they're starting to understand and believe what it takes to win consistently, right? You got to have the mindset that you're going to play a 4-quarter game every time you line up. There are no your objective is to get the game to the fourth, and then at that point I lock in, I have more discipline, I have more focus, right, than my competitor, and I finish the game. So what we got to do is go back and they did, with the exception of 3 plays late in the game with 36 seconds left on the clock. We lost, our cool. We got caught up in some personal battles, and unfortunately, as I told them, that earned us, the wrong side of the game, and didn't give us an opportunity to try and see if we can get it to overtime.